If you are looking for something new and different for the upcoming Compliance Week celebration in November, check out The Compliance Kids. It's my 3-book children's series on compliance and compliance professionals for children. But they make great gifts and great training tools for your employees. You can check it out on Amazon.com. We've linked to it in the show notes. The Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
In today's Compliance Tip of the Day, we consider the DOJ's emphasis on continuous improvement in your compliance program, but take it as a call to action for every compliance professional. The updated 2024 Evaluation of Corporate Compliance Programs highlights the need for companies to regularly review and update their compliance program to account for emerging risks, such as those posed by disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence. I can remember Lanny Brewer in literally the first decade of this century saying that compliance programs should not be static but dynamic, always evolving. Indeed, as the pace of technology advancement is even more rapid in 2024 than it was in 2009, there are new risks. Obviously, AI can be a double-edged sword. It can offer efficiency and insights, but it can also be exploited for fraudulent purposes, such as generating false documentation or false approvals. It also can be a huge fraud risk. The DOJ now is explicitly expecting companies to assess and manage these risks, which means we need to stay ahead of the curve in understanding and mitigating the potential pitfalls of new technologies on compliance programs. So what are 3 action steps that you can take in your compliance program for your organization? Number 1, conduct regular risk assessments that include emerging technologies as part of the process. 2, implement controls that specifically address the risks associated with AI or other disruptive technologies. And 3, ensure that your compliance program evolves alongside technological advancements with continuous testing and monitoring. By utilizing this process, you will be able to not only keep a handle on the emerging risks of disruptive technologies, but document and have an audit trail if the regulators. As I said in the opening of this podcast, this month's sponsor of the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico, and they've developed a toolkit for middle managers that will help middle managers in intaking information from employees and, equally importantly, understanding how to respond and how to get the information up to compliance for the decision makers. We've linked to this toolkit in our show notes, so check it out at ethico.com. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The Compliance Tip of the Day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network. Finally, this podcast contains promotional materials.